Welcome to the Stoic Tide. There comes a moment in every man's inner journey when the world begins to look different. You stop reacting. You stop chasing. You stop explaining. And that's when you realize you've awakened. But here's the truth most will never tell you. Once you awaken, your silence becomes your power. And there are 4 things you must never reveal to anyone, no matter how close they are. 1. Never reveal the depth of your inner peace. When a man finds peace within himself, it unsettles the world around him. Because most people live in a storm, they thrive on noise, validation, and distraction. So when you stand calm in chaos, they don't understand you. They will call you detached, arrogant, or emotionless. But peace is not detachment. It's mastery. It's what Marcus Aurelius meant when he said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. Your inner calm is sacred ground. It took years of pain, doubt, and quiet reflection to build it. So guard it like a warrior guards his temple. Do not expose it to those who are still ruled by their chaos because they will try to drag you back into it. Remember, we are not here to be understood. We are here to understand. And a man who is at peace with himself does not need to explain his silence. 2. Never reveal what truly moves you. When a man is spiritually awake, his emotions no longer dance for the world to see. He feels deeply, yes, but his feelings have direction, not chaos. He loves quietly. He hurts silently. He aspires inwardly because he has learned what Seneca once wrote, "Nothing is more honorable than a grateful heart." But understand this, what moves you empowers you. And if you expose it to the wrong eyes, it can be used against you. People today are not trained to honor depth. They seek to manipulate it. They will take your vulnerability and twist it for their comfort. They will use your dreams to measure your worth. So guard what moves your soul. If you are building something, don't announce it. If you are healing, don't broadcast it. If you are falling in love, don't let the world touch it. The moment you speak too soon, you allow the unguarded opinions of others to infect the purity of your purpose. True power lies in sacred privacy. The Stoics knew this well because the man who guards his emotions, his goals, and his motivations becomes immune to emotional blackmail. He acts but does not react. He feels but is not enslaved by feeling. He moves in silence while the world still tries to figure out his next step. And that's what makes him dangerously calm. People fear what they cannot predict. And when your desires, passions, and motives are hidden, you become unreadable, untouchable. Like Marcus Aurelius' still mind amid chaos, you exist in a higher order of control, a kind of quiet fire that burns but does not consume you. Because at the highest level of awareness, your strength is not in how loudly you speak. It's in how deeply you understand yourself and how silently you protect the things that give your soul light. 3. Never reveal what you've overcome. A spiritually awakened person carries scars the world will never see. Because those scars are not for display, they are for discipline. Every trial, every heartbreak, every sleepless night that carved wisdom into your bones is sacred. It's what made you who you are. But once you start explaining your pain to those who haven't earned your trust, you cheapen it. Most people don't want to understand your journey. They want to measure it. They want to know how much it broke you, how far they can push you, or how strong you've become so they can feel either envy or superiority. And that's why the awakened soul keeps his suffering silent. Epictetus said, "Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. Your transformation is not a story. It's a presence." The world doesn't need to hear how you found your strength. It needs to feel it when you walk into a room. The man who has endured quietly carries a gravity that words can't describe. When you start revealing your battles, people begin to study your weaknesses like vultures circling the wounded. Some will pity you to feel powerful. Others will admire you only until your pain threatens their comfort. But the Stoic remains unmoved. He doesn't speak of the storm. He becomes the calm after it. To be spiritually awake means to carry your past without being enslaved by it. You don't hide it out of shame. You protect it out of respect. Because your struggles were not meant to be gossip. They were meant to be your initiation into strength. Your scars are not warnings. They're symbols of survival. When you no longer need validation for your pain, you ascend to a higher level of freedom. You stop trying to prove that you've changed and start simply living as the proof. That's when you become truly intimidating because people can sense it. Your silence, your composure, your unexplainable depth. They can tell you've walked through fire, but they can't tell how you survived it. And that mystery makes you powerful. Like Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." You don't need to speak of the past to show you've conquered it. The way you carry yourself, the peace in your eyes, the steadiness in your words, that's how the awakened soul speaks. So keep your scars sacred. They are the private proof that the chaos didn't destroy you. It refined you into someone the world can no longer break. For never reveal what gives you peace. There is a kind of stillness that only the awakened man knows. A quiet center the world cannot disturb. It may come from prayer, solitude, nature, or the discipline of one's own mind. But whatever it is that keeps your soul steady in a world that thrives on chaos, you must guard it. Because when you reveal what gives you peace, people will unconsciously seek to disrupt it. Not always out of malice, sometimes out of envy, sometimes out of ignorance. The world has a strange habit of trying to pull calm souls back into the storm. Seneca once wrote, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." When you find peace, you've already proven yourself. You've earned it through battles others cannot comprehend. And when you speak too soon of it, when you boast about your balance, it becomes vulnerable, exposed to those who haven't learned its price. The Stoics believe that peace isn't a place you reach, but a fortress you build within. It's a silent rebellion against the noise of the world. When everyone else reacts, you observe. When others seek approval, you withdraw into the clarity of your own thoughts. When they chase pleasure, you chase purpose. To speak too much of your peace is to let others map your soul. And once they know where your strength lives, they will try to invade it. Some will mock what you meditate upon. Others will trivialize what you hold sacred. But a true practitioner of discipline protects his inner temple like a sacred flame. He lets no unworthy wind touch it. Your peace is your power. It is what allows you to see clearly when others panic. It is what lets you hold your ground when the world trembles. And that's why the strongest men are often the most silent. They don't announce what gives them clarity. They don't explain how they remain calm when insulted, betrayed, or forgotten. They just remain unshaken, unexplainable, unreachable. As Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." So we guard our peace not because we fear losing it, but because we understand its rarity. It took years of inner war to find, and the truly awakened man does not hand it over to a world that feeds on distraction. Let them wonder where your peace comes from. Let them call it arrogance, mystery, or luck, because the truth is your peace is your rebellion and the man who guards it is already free. Bonus point. Never reveal what you've overcome. There's something sacred about the storms you've survived, the kind of pain that stripped you bare, burned away your illusions, and forced you to rebuild yourself from ashes. But here's the truth few ever tell you. You should never reveal the full story of what you've overcome. Not to just anyone, because your wounds are your wisdom, and wisdom loses its power when it's handed carelessly to those who haven't earned the right to hear it. The Stoics understood this deeply. They knew that suffering, when endured with courage and discipline, transforms a man from within. Epictetus, who was once a slave, said, "Difficulties are things that show what men are." What he meant is simple. Your struggles are the forge where your soul is tempered. The moment you survive what was meant to destroy you, you stop being ordinary. You become something the world doesn't know how to read anymore. But when you reveal too much of your suffering to those who haven't suffered in silence, they can't grasp the weight of it. To them, your scars are stories, not symbols. They'll nod. They'll sympathize, maybe even admire, but they won't understand the sacred transformation behind it. And some, in their smallness, will even try to weaponize your pain. They'll use your past against you. They'll say you've changed, as if that isn't the very purpose of pain, to make you evolve. That's why the wise man walks quietly through his resurrection. He doesn't announce his rebirth, he embodies it. He doesn't speak of what he's endured. He lets his silence tell the story, because pain, when endured in solitude, grants something divine. Clarity. It teaches you who you are when there's nothing left to protect. It shows you what they weren't punishments. They were invitations to strength. But the modern world celebrates transparency, oversharing, and confession, as if vulnerability is strength by itself. It's not. Uncontrolled vulnerability is weakness disguised as courage. Strength lies not in exposing your scars to anyone who asks, but in carrying them with quiet dignity. There's a difference between hiding and protecting. To hide is to fear. To protect is to respect what you've endured. The Stoic man does not overshare because he knows that the world doesn't owe him understanding. He owes himself mastery, and mastery is built in silence in the lonely hours when no one is watching. When you learn to calm the storms inside you instead of complaining about the storms outside, when you've been through hell and made peace with it, you carry a kind of calm that disturbs the restless. Your presence feels different. People can sense that you've walked through something they can't name. That's why the strongest men rarely talk about their pain. Their silence speaks louder than confession ever could. And here's the paradox. When you no longer need to prove how much you've suffered, that's when your power becomes undeniable. The man who no longer justifies his strength is the man who has truly earned it. Seneca said, "Fire tests gold. Adversity tests brave men. The fire didn't come to destroy you. It came to reveal you. It burned away what was false, leaving only what was unbreakable." So when people ask how you became so calm, so composed, so untouchable, you don't owe them an answer. Let them see the glow, but never tell them how the flame was born. Let them see the strength, but never reveal the pain that built it. The world romanticizes vulnerability, but only the disciplined know the truth. That real power is restraint. Real courage is silence. Real strength is the ability to have suffered deeply and still move through life with grace. Because when you stop talking about your pain, you start transforming it. When you stop seeking validation, you start finding peace. When you stop revealing what broke you, you start radiating what rebuilt you. So we, the ones who have endured, must learn this sacred boundary. We do not share our battles for pity. We do not seek applause for our survival. We carry our scars like medals of war, not for the world to see, but to remind ourselves that we've earned our discipline. Our pain is no longer our story. It's our strength. And when we stop speaking about it, we start embodying it. Stay silent, stay stoic, stay blessed.